Don't speak what you don't understand. The truth is not in your command. Don't shout about what you think is fake. The decision isn't yours to make. Don't lie about the way things are. Tall tales will take you very far. Don't scoff when they say it's the end. In this life, you know you can't pretend. The days pass by, baby, set in stone. But it's not too late now for you to change your tone. Don't speak. Open your soul. Don't harden your heart. Don't speak. Don't speak. Open your soul. Don't harden your heart.
Hey everyone, it's Marianne from the New York City Organization of Public Service Retirees. Happy Friday and happy Valentine's Day. I want to get right to this. Today is Friday and we are doing a debunking bullshit by DC37 and sadly, what is known as DC37 Retirees Association. And we all know they're really not the Retirees Association. It is a shame. DC37 Retirees Association was put into administratorship a year ago, primarily because they were protecting their own healthcare benefits and supporting our organization. So this letter came from the DC37 Retirees Association. I want to show you this letter. I highlighted the entire letter because this whole letter is garbage. What they're doing with this letter is sending it to active workers and to DC37 retirees, telling them that our bill, Intro 1096, is illegal, violates collective bargaining. So I want to run right through this to you and also let you know that your 3 calls are still on. You need to call Harry Nespoli from sanitation from the MLC because, of course, he keeps spreading more BS through the city council. Henry Garrido from DC37, and now Ann Widger from DC37 Retirees, the AFSCME International Administrator, who makes about $250,000 running the DC37 Retirees Association. So far removed from everything, she doesn't even understand that a majority of us make under $35,000 pensions and 1/3 of us make under $12,000. Yet she wants to try to force us into Medicare Advantage plans and not protect us from the copays that Henry Garrido keeps trying to force on us. So here's this letter that's been going around. We need your help to stand up against legislation in the New York City Council that would put our premium-free healthcare coverage at risk and tries to create a divide between current city workers and retirees. The fact is, we're all in this together. Does anyone have little violins? No, we're not all in this together. You, DC37, now the entire organization, the unions, the leadership, and the Retirees Association now, sadly, and there's a few unions in DC37 that have been supporting us, but they don't necessarily speak out of fear of retaliation from Henry, Sean Francois 372, Anthony Wells 371. I mean, this is the craziness of this. So no, we're not in this together. And the only thing that's been putting premium-free healthcare at risk is Henry Garrido and AFSCME not keeping him in line, reminding him that Medicare is a federal public health benefit. We shouldn't be privatizing it, and we shouldn't be stealing from our retired unionists. We need your help to tell City Council to say no to Intro 1096. Sign our petition today. I need a clown hat because that's exactly what this is. So then you click that link and it takes you to a petition to sign against the very bill protecting you from them. And this is why retirees are not in unions, because our needs are materially different. And this is what happens when a union thinks it can steal from its retirees because they're not in the union. You don't pay a dues to them. You don't go to their meetings. You don't elect them. You don't ratify their contracts. They will steal from you. That never has been done in the history of labor, to my knowledge, until now. except, well, 2014 when the United Federation of Teachers did it. But then Henry doubled down after 18. And then this, I would say, is he's just digging in his heels and he's on an island all unto himself. I am not seeing any other union doing this but DC37. So this is like the hall of shame of unions. Instead, it would limit our union's ability to collectively bargain for healthcare benefits for workers and retirees. Actually, unions can only negotiate for active workers in unions and their future benefits. Stealing from a retired worker, that should be off limits. There's no other way to say that. Instead, he continues, Instead, it would limit our union's ability to collectively bargain for healthcare benefits for workers and retirees. Arbitrarily requires the city to keep health coverage at 2021 levels and could lead the city to look for other ways to make up for rising healthcare costs, like adding premiums. In that one little paragraph, he's telling you that if he can't pass costs on to you, the Medicare eligible retiree, he can't keep his costs down. That's exactly what this comes down to, because this doesn't require coverage to stay at the 2021 level. What it actually does is it says to the city, you have to provide a Medicare supplemental plan like what was in place on December 31st of 2021, meaning it paid this 20% of healthcare Medicare didn't cover. Medicare pays the first 80%. The supplement pays whatever's left over. But because the union decided to pass on a backdoor premium in the form of a copay and upcoming deductibles, yes, you heard me right, that he wants the ability to do that because he makes money from doing it. When they went to implement the copays on us in 2022, they stood to make $45 to $50 million. They actually collected $53 million in illegal copays. And who did that go to? Not you and me. It didn't go to Emblem. It actually went towards their bargaining. And that's why they want that money. They want to be able to charge you, a retired union person who's no longer in the union, who doesn't elect them, doesn't vote for them, and doesn't have any say in these agreements. This is on them, and that has to keep being called out. They then say, we need your help to tell city council to say no. Again, that link goes to that same shitty place. Intro 1096 ignores the elephant in the room, the rising cost of healthcare. No, it doesn't ignore anything. You're trying to say because active worker healthcare is more expensive, you have to rob your own Medicare eligible retirees, your elderly and your disabled, to finance you because you don't have the spine to go in and negotiate for a better deal. That's what it comes down to. So we're just going to take from them. It says the bill would leave retirees to negotiate our healthcare on our own. Well, yeah, dude, you should be negotiating your own healthcare. You shouldn't be stealing from your retirees to fund your healthcare. Without the power and solidarity of our union, while doing nothing to help control lower costs, healthcare costs, and address how the city will continue to fund retiree healthcare for current and future retirees. Yes, you're admitting it again. You're admitting right there that you want to take from your current retirees to fund your active workers and future retirees. He's literally admitting it. When a narcissist gaslights you and tells you who they are, you have to listen. That is the ugliest thing. Like, he literally says it. Perhaps the worst part of the bill is that it says nothing to identify any source of funding for the projected $600 million cost if Intro 1096 is passed. Actually, it does. He should have read before the bill, ABCD in Intro in 12-126. 12-126 literally says the city will pay the full cost of health coverage. He has to read the whole thing. Reading is fundamental, Henry. And you really should go back and read. If this legislation passes, it will only divide workers and retirees and weaken our union's ability to negotiate for quality, premium-free health care for workers and retirees, and could lead to unnecessary restrictions on care in the future while putting our premium-free health care benefits at risk. Sign the petition today. Every signature makes a difference. Let's stand together and fight back in solidarity. Yes. Oh my God. No, this is not what this means. They're not in solidarity. So understand something, guys. I am so sick and tired of this guy, DC37, and now DC37 Retirees Association, Ann Widger, pretending that she knows what the hell she's talking about. And of course, this is all under the auspice of Lee Saunders, AFSCME International. So I'm going to say this again. Everyone that's listening to me, If you are a DC37 retiree, if you are paying or a DC37 member, active member, who's supporting what we are doing, trying to protect our benefits, our Medicare from being privatized by our own union, former union, then what you need to do is contact DC37 and AFSCME International, and you also need to stop your people's money. That is PAC money. That is political action money being used against you. That gives Henry the ability to keep going back and forth to Albany, lobbying against you, hiring lobbyists, putting people up at the city council to go lobby against our bill and fight against us. And that's where this is all coming from. So this number, I probably will put this up tonight as well, because you'll see the ticker down at the bottom is Henry, Harry, and Ann Widger. Natalie Thomas, and I'll put this in the closing ticker. Natalie Thomas is the People's Coordinator for AFSCME International. Her number is 202-429-1000. I'm going to say that again in case you didn't go get a pencil. 202-429-1000. You want to ask them to transfer you to the People's Coordinator, Natalie Thomas. Now, if you want to email her, it's NA, as in the first two letters of her first name, Natalie, NA Thomas, THOMAS, at AFSCME, AFSCME.org. Now, if you're calling for DC37 instead, you want to try there first before you call the international office. Call DC37 at 212-815-1550. Stop spending money on peoples to let this organization advocate against you. You don't give them political action money. And this goes for any union worker or retiree listening to me. If your organization is lobbying against your interests, I'm not saying don't pay a dues. You have to pay a dues to your union if you're an active worker in order to stay involved in the fight, right? So if your leadership has gone astray, you have to pay your dues, stay active in your union, take your union back. But if you are paying people's money and they are a PAC money, a COPE money, and they're using that to work against you, stop. Use those monies to help us fight this fight, because we are the only ones fighting to protect current retiree benefits and protecting Medicare from being privatized. And stop letting Henry and Harry spread misinformation to the city council and to state workers against our legislation, lobbying against our interests. We've had enough. These letters have got to stop, and city council needs to acknowledge that Harry, Henry, the United Federation of Teachers still sending Bridget Rain and lobbyists to lobby against 1096 needs to end. Speaker Adams needs to contact the Carmen De La Rosa, who's chair of Civil Service and Labor, and tell her to hold a meeting, because right now Carmen won't hold the meeting because the speaker's telling her not to. Argue for what's right. This has to be done. When you guys are calling here, let us know what you're hearing. We want to know what Ann Widger says. We want to know what Harry says. We want to know what Henry says if you can get through. Keep those calls going to City Council. We're going to have more information to you tonight on our Friday Night Live. Keep the faith, guys. We can do this together, and we are in true solidarity. Not like them who wants what you have earned to finance themselves because they don't know how to negotiate in collective bargaining. They're okay with stealing from current retired unionists. That's anti-union. Have a great day, everyone. Keep the faith, and I'll see you tonight.
Don't speak what you don't understand. The truth is not in your command. Don't shout about what you think is fake. The decision isn't yours to make.